I'm happy for 24 because 23 was not like my very favorite, but 24 is where it's at.
It was one of my favorites.
I actually need
Well,
to
me too with my label. Whoop, whoop.
do and
Yep.
speak for you. Here we go.
Tanya,
Yes.
Lori titled the Zoom from Thursday night 2014.
Oh, I'll go change it.
That's why I couldn't find it.
I'll go change it. Go ahead and let everybody in. Yes. Yeah.
Thursday night 2014.
Oh, I'll go change it.
That's why I couldn't find it.
I'll change. I'm listening to myself talk on the live. Okay. Let's go. Are we ready? Should we let everybody in?
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
1 second. Be right back.
Look at all the people living lives so free. Hee hee. I'll never hit that note.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturday training. You guys get Tanya today. So welcome, welcome. So if you guys do not have a notebook and a pen or a pencil, I highly suggest that you get one. We're going to cover a couple different things today that I'm excited to talk about. And this is going to lead into the training for that we're doing in Texas. So do a quick little reminder, guys, if you haven't bought your ticket yet, please do so. Niall, will you put that link back in the...
Got it.
Thank you. Niall will put the link in there in the chat for you guys. You can go follow that and head over there and get your event ticket. Super excited about this. You know, Costa doesn't do things halfway. So we're really excited for the opportunity, and it's really fun also to see behind the scenes a little bit with any opportunity that we are sharing. And you know, the Bella Vita is our second acre offer here, so really excited to see behind the scenes. I've never seen the snaps being made and how everything's done, how everything goes together, and what they have going on over there. So I'm excited to see all that. This will be my first time as well. So anyway, welcome you guys as we kick off another Saturday in this glorious year of 2024. Can you guys believe it? It's 2024 already. I've been waiting. I've been preparing for this since 2023, the beginning of 2023. So I'm really excited to be here. But yeah, I'm just gonna let everybody get in. I want everyone to make sure you guys got a notebook and a pen or pencil for those who are just coming in to the call. So make sure that everybody has that. You guys are ready to go. We'll rock and roll. Here in just a few minutes, but you guys get me. My husband's off taking care of the lead side of the business, which a lot of you guys, well, not a lot, everyone here benefits from. And so yeah, you know, sometimes he makes it look easy, doesn't he? He's running all this stuff from behind the scenes, and wow, he makes it look super easy, but it's a lot of work and a lot of detail, and yeah, so I'm really grateful for his ability to do that and be able to multitask and do all the things that he does. So anyway, it's a bunch more of you coming in. So I'll wait for everyone to get in. And let's see. There we go. For everyone, I'm just waiting. Wow, there's a lot of you guys. Yay, I'm excited. Welcome. I've had my coffee and my snaps. Have y'all? Because if you haven't, let's go. My coffee and my snaps. For those of you guys just coming in, I just was telling everybody, make sure you guys have your a notebook and a pen or pencil, and we're going to continue. So if you guys don't remember, my last training that I did was based around goals, talking about goals and why they're important. And then even more so at the very end of that, we went into talking about vision boards and how to create a vision board. And then I asked for you guys to like send over your vision board information to your MSI so we could kind of review some of that. So we're going to kind of cover some of that. And then after that, we're going to kind of talk a little bit more about a few other things. And we'll see how much time I have before we might have to pause and go to the DTCA hour and then hit back into this with whatever we've got going on here. So we'll see how it goes, how it rolls for us all today. But welcome. So I'm just going to do a few little highlights from the last time. I feel like I should do that. I don't know why I feel so I'm going to. But we talked pretty heavily about setting goals and why it was so important. And truthfully, it narrows down to the fact that if you do not know where you're going, you're never going to get there, right? You're never going to get anywhere if you don't know where you're going. So that's one of the reasons why we set goals, is why we move forward. is you have to have a direction. And you guys, a lot of study on my part and a lot of things going on. You have to believe in yourself. And so you have to have that. And sometimes I feel like, and I've mentioned this in our goal training, but sometimes life has weighed you down. It's made you a non-believer in yourself. And so you kind of think that it's not real, things aren't real. And you always are looking for the negative side of things instead of the what ifs. And the what ifs are where things are possible. And so what makes you grow and what pushes you forward. So, you have to have reasons, because reasons push you to success. Not only that, but then the group that you are with push you to success. So it's super important for who you are around, who are you choosing to be around and be with. That's very, very important. Oh, I did want to share. I think I'm going to share something. I forgot to download something really quickly. So 1 second. I'm just going to do that while we have more people coming in. You guys, make sure you're grabbing your notebook and a pen, because we're going to cover some topics today that I think are really important. It's going to take some time for you guys to, well, I don't think they are important. I know they are, but I think it's going to take some thought, and I'm hoping that I can help you guys kickstart your thought process going on, and then we can move forward from there. But 1 second, let me take a quick little break.
Janie, I'm curious, how many people think making a vision board, the old dream boards, is silly, like I did 35 years ago?
My only problem is I couldn't read it if I wrote it. I scribble.
That's why. Put the crayons away. We just do pictures. That's what
I have
do.
stickers. I do have stickers.
Stickers, yep.
I can never find the right stickers that I want to use, so I end up just writing it out in detail on my board.
I had a ton of magazines, even some newspapers, some articles, and then I was surfing all over the internet and printing pictures on my printer and cutting it all out and sticking it to the board. Yeah, I'm one of those guys too. I thought it was silly. I thought it was just like a little craft thing. And I was like, yeah, I got calls to make. I ain't got time for crafts. Bill, you feel that way too? So until I made my first one, and then I watched some magic happen. There's a couple things on that first board I made that I completely forgot about. And then when it materialized, I went back to that board and went, oh my. So I paid more attention to the second one I did. And that got really powerful. And no matter whose book you're reading or where you search online, they talk about writing things down, printing them and hanging them up where you can see them all day, right? Napoleon Hill. What we think about all day long is what we attract into our life. So if you got a picture hanging there and you're looking at that picture regularly, that's what you're thinking about all the time, every day, right? And those are the things you attract in your life, what you think about every single day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the second board I did, powerful after I learned that lesson on the first one.
Absolutely, guys. Okay, I think I'm ready. Thank you now. So yeah, there's a couple things that I want to cover today. And you guys, it's really talking about the vision board, you guys. It's not, if you don't want to do arts and crafts, or if you don't want to, I mean, it can be whatever it needs to be. Like I said, I really do a little, like, have you guys seen those brainstorm circles where you put like what your goal is, your main goal is for the year, and then you kind of branch out and do other goals and just make it look like it's kind of messy. But that's what I do, because really I've done this process so many times now that I know what I want. I can visualize it by writing it. So it's really whatever works for you. And honestly, you guys, it's really the main reason it is for, like Niall was saying, it's to jumpstart you guys in the thought process of, what do you want? Why do you want it? So I'm just gonna talk to you guys a little bit about vision boards and the importance of it, and then we'll talk a little bit about that, and then we're gonna move on to a different subject. But again, you guys, it's about dreaming. It's about going through that process of seeing what you want. Most people, when you come here to RRR, what are you looking for? What's the number one thing people are looking for that you guys, when all y'all who take the calls, what's the number one thing that you guys are looking for when you come here?
Money.
Money. It's financial. It's a financial thing, right? So if you break it down and the best way, and we're going to talk about, to me, vision boards and finding your why. Okay. Finding your why is so important. And that's where we're going to kind of cover that bit of it, I guess. And that is, finding the best way. Because I get this question all the time. And for me, the best way for me to explain how to find your why is you have to, many of you guys have been parents. If not, you've been around kids. So you understand when you have that toddler stage and it's the why, and they go down the why question path that don't stop. That's what you guys need to do. You really need to dig deep. It's that stuff. It's like, why are you here? I want to make more money. Why? Why do you want to make more money? Pull out your notebooks, friends, because we're doing it. We're diving in deep right now. You want to make more money. Why? For instance, you want to, I'm just going to start going here. For instance, you want to pay off, your debt. Why? Why do you want to pay off your debt?
So we can have more fun.
Alleviate your stress, right? Make it so that maybe you don't need to work your other job. Maybe you get to be the boss. And then again, why? There's why. You have to follow that all the way down, guys. You have to keep going until you find the real reason. Because when you get to the end of that why, that's what your why is. That's where it is. It's all the way down there. And it could be simple and it can be very finite. For me, it was I needed more money to help pay for my family. So that's why I started this. I needed to cover. I wasn't covering my expenses when I was young. I needed to cover my expenses. Why did I want to cover my expenses? Because I wanted my children to be able to have experiences that I wasn't able to have. Why did I want that? Because I wanted them to learn and grow and have more education, to have more opportunities. Why? Because I wanted them to be successful. And the end of that, you keep going down the whys until you find out what that is, what the root cause is. And that is your why. And if you really start to feel that and you get to that point, that's when you guys understand what's driving you. And you have to let those guards down, you guys, because as we get older, and I'm going to tell you guys truthfully, the older that I have gotten, and I am a grandmother, the older I've gotten, the harder it has been for me to find my why, because you start to get older and you start to believe maybe this won't happen, maybe that won't happen, or you think your why is something that was an old why, and your why will change. It absolutely will. And I want to explain to you guys why it is so important to have one. I like to give you guys a few different reasons here. I'm a numbers person, so I like to give you guys numbers. So the number one thing for me is that it gives you passion. How many of you guys have talked to Rory, heard him talking, felt that passion, that energy that he has? I mean, that guy has it in spades, right? I mean, he just oozes passion. He does. He absolutely has passion for what he's doing, for the direction that he's going, for how he's living his life. He has that passion. And so that's easy to follow. It's easy to jump on board with that because you feel the energy and the excitement. And that is that's one of it's an amazing way to live. And he has that. Then number two for me is that it gives you focus. It really it focuses your ability to want to go down a path and to stay there. It helps you figure out why you're doing what you're doing. Not the why, not the reason, but the direction, why you're going that direction. Not everybody has a system, but we have one. A lot of people in the direct sales industry don't have a system. They're looking for a path. They're looking for that outlet. We have that. We have a system. We have something that's great. I'm going to say it's easy to follow, and that doesn't mean the work is easy, right? It means the system is there. It's easy to follow. It's spelled out. Change is constant. So as we're growing and moving, there's always going to be some change. And I think as you work your way up with personal growth is really what this is all about. As you work your way up that chain, up that ladder, it becomes easier for you to kind of turn around the change. It becomes easier for you to, reset, refocus, recommit. So, and we have that here. We have that here for sure. This training, I didn't know until 11 o'clock at night what I was doing, but we just have to learn and grow. So that just gives you that kind of that direction, and it helps you to stay focused. So also, if you have passion and you have focus and you have a system, the fourth thing I'm going to say is that you have a story, right? You have a story, you have something that's your why, if you will, or the reason you're doing this. And I'm going to give you guys an example because it helped me. If you guys you're here and you're talking to people as you're doing your marketing or whatever, or you guys are calling out, you know, they're looking for something that you are working. What's your story? What's your story? Why are you doing this? What are you looking for? Because I'm telling you, your story will help them see the path and help them see, oh, maybe it's going to resonate with them. Maybe they're a stay-at-home. They want to be a stay-at-home mom. I know I was talking to several people before that they wanted to stay home to help their parents, so they don't have to put their parents in a home. That's important to me as well. That's one of the that's a why for me, is that I'm doing this because I could help my dad make sure that he is in a place where I never have to worry about that, because I will never do that to him. So I just, you know, want to make sure that I have that ability to care for him. And so, you know, that your story will connect with somebody, and you're going to match that. And it's going to continue on. And it's a lot easier. I don't know how many times have you ever seen anybody say, hey, I'm selling this, I'm selling this, I'm selling this. And then you have somebody else, hey, I'm selling this because I want to help. I'm going to help my mom or my dad or my daughter go dance, or my son play football, and football is expensive. And you're like, I'm going to buy those chocolate bars. So you know what I mean? It's just, you want to help. You want to help somebody who has a vision, who has a dream, who has a path. You're going to help, want to help that person. So it resonates with others around you. And people want to support those who have that dream. The next one to me is that it gives you power to push, guys. Life is not easy. It's just not. Like I said, change is constant. That is one thing for sure, is change. And so when life gets a little hard, or working the system here gets a little hard for you, your why is going to help you stay. It's going to help you focus. Because there's too many times that you're so ready to quit on yourselves. Too many people will just quit on themselves. And, you know, I really feel that it's not that they don't have a why. It's because they do not have belief. They don't have belief. And that's what I was going back to talking about life is kind of hit you down a little bit until you feel like it's not real. It's not happening. And then anyone that I talk to that says that this isn't working for them, I go over okay, what are you doing? Let's talk about your day. What are you doing every day? Are you posting ads every day? You should be. Are you creating new content? Are you doing marketing? Are you in the anchors? Are you sharing the anchors? Are you doing the steps that you need to do that you know is going to cause success? And you guys, a lot of people aren't. And so if you don't, your belief isn't going, you're not going to believe in yourself if you're not doing it, right? So your belief is going to waver because you're not even doing it. So I know everybody wants to have certain things. Everybody has goals. Everybody has desires. It's a natural human, it's innate to us, but it's the belief that is shattered. It's the belief that you guys need to. And so having your why, having a belief in your why will push you. It will push you when times are so hard that you're like, this has been a really crappy week, and I need to reset, refocus, recommit. Remembering your why. And that's why I like the vision boards. I'm going to bring that in here now, is because sometimes you just need to have that visual image. Okay, this is why I'm doing it. This is what I'm doing it for. And maybe it's just a picture of your child. Maybe it's a picture of your house with a dollar sign paid off, whatever it is that you're looking for. And it doesn't have to be like 50 million things, right? It can be a couple things that this is what you want. And so that will help you. I know myself, I'll set goals, and then I'll put a picture up of a trip that I'm going on because I want to reach a certain goal by that trip. And so I will see that place and know, okay, I'm working towards that. I'm working towards achieving my goal by that. And that pushes me too. So it's whatever works for you. There's no wrong answer. You know, like I said, I love seeing like things like on your computer, like your background. But for me, it doesn't work because my computer background's never up. It's never up. I've always got 50 million screens up, right? So that's something that I don't see regularly. So it's just, I have it, like I always will have things in my book. These are my whys right here. See that? Those are my babies. And those are what I have in my book all the time. And those are my grandchildren. And they're a lot of my why now. There's different things I want to do and achieve for them and help them with, and that's my why. So I have that in my little notes that I take every day. I mean, always have a notebook of some kind for everything, from Bible study to personal growth to meal planning. Like I have it all. So it's like that's just gives you that, it gives you that push. And times do get really hard sometimes, and and everybody gets discouraged. So it's just about having your why, knowing what it is, having it visual so that you can push forward. And it will put you through those tough days. Everyone's had those, you guys. You had a rough call, or you've had a rough conversation with somebody, and it just kind of gets you down, right? And you need to remember, they just don't understand, but you do. You understand your why. You see it, you know it's there, you're working through it. And then the other thing I want to say is that, and this is the last thing I want to say about this particular subject, is that it makes you think bigger. When you have a why, it makes you think bigger. It makes you think outside of yourself. And when you start to follow and do the steps of the system that we have for you, you can see success. And then once you start seeing the success, you start to believe and you start to think bigger. And your goals can change, and they can go all different kinds of ways. Any way that you want them to go, they can really go that way. You can have anything that you want to. And you guys, when you start having belief, people want to follow you. Passion and belief, that people want to follow you. And you can't be a king in your own backyard. You guys have read Rory's book. If you haven't, we're gonna hit a chapter here in just a minute anyway. But you can't be a king in your own backyard. You can't. Your family's not going to believe you. They're going to say, oh, one of those things. And that's okay. They don't have the belief in you, to be honest with you. They don't have the belief, because if they knew how hard you were going to work and you were ready to change, then they would believe in you. But once they start seeing success, then they have belief, and then they want to join. Then they want to be a part of what you're doing. But truthfully, you have to want what change more than you want what you're doing now. The lifestyle that you have right now, whatever it is that has led you to be here with Triple R, you have to want something bigger than where you are right now. And that will push you to work a little more, and that will help you to move forward. And so when I start to think about your vision boards and your why, I want you guys to do this. We're gonna do a little activity, but I want you guys to think, what would happen to your life, your family, if you achieved your goal? And again, we're just going to use a monetary goal for right now. If you were able to pay off your house, what would that look like for you? And I want you to write it down. After you write that down, I want you to write down, what would that look like to your family? What would that mean for them? You have to visualize the outcome. Now, I want you guys to keep your heart and your mind open as you working through a couple of these things, because as you do, you really need to be open to change and open to growth to understand all these other topics that we're talking about. But I want you guys to ask yourself these couple of questions. What would you do if money wasn't an issue? What would you do? Whatever comes to mind, I want you guys to write it down. I'm going to wait a few minutes. What would you do, guys? Think about that. I want to ask you guys, what places would you go? Where would you like to go? Write that down. Next, and I love this one too, is what would you give to others? It's not all about the money, guys, because money just is the one problem, right? And honestly, you guys, sadly, we live in a world where money is king. Money is what provides for our life. We can't go out and do certain things anymore and provide for ourselves. We have to make a financial income. That's what we're here for. And so if it wasn't an option, what would that look like to others? What would you be able to give? I just want you guys to think about the freedom. What would that freedom look like to you? Because at the end of the day, guys, the real answer here at the end of everything is going to be freedom. Freedom from time, freedom to make choices, freedom to spend your day as you would want. I mean, that's what freedom really boils down to, is time freedom. You can do whatever you want. Can you guys imagine opening your eyes and deciding what you're going to do every minute of that day? Making it be a fun and exciting day. Ask yourself, if you start now and follow the steps, and you guys really follow the steps, if you're following the steps in 1 year, what does that year look like for you? In a year, next year, January 2025. Write it down. I want you guys to write this down, and we're going to go, you can go back next year. We'll have another touch base in January and write it down. We'll go back and look at everything. Because even if you don't achieve, you've worked to progress towards it. And maybe you realize, okay, it's going to take not a year, maybe it'll take 2, or maybe it'll take a year and a half. And that's okay. Because to me, goals are a living thing. They grow with you as you grow. They change with you as you change. So that's what I want to say. Money is a way. It's everyone thinks money is like bad. It's not. It isn't bad. It's your heart. It's how you intend to use it, right? So money is a way to help others. It creates influence, and influence creates change. It creates focus. It creates help. It creates love. Because if you are able to take that stress off, I know just a couple of different things from growing up, watching my father. My parents were very traditional. My mother stayed home for the most part, unless she had to work, and she did work for some. But for the most part, my father was the main provider. And when he could fully provide for his family, he was so much happier. He was in a happy place. I had a father who was fun to be around, who wanted to be a part of my life, who would come to my extracurricular activities, because he wasn't stressed and working 24 hours a day. And my father did. I remember young, he was working 2 jobs. He'd come sleep for a couple hours and go work another one. And so, I mean, I remember that too. So, you know, that the changes that had. Now also going into my marriage and seeing that when our needs are met, or more than our needs are met, how it changes your partner, how it changes you. And then again, you guys, that stress off of you, what does that do? What is your family, your loved ones seeing that you don't know? You should ask them. And because it changes you completely, it makes you into a different person. And honestly, you guys, once that's taken care of, that's when the personal growth really starts to kick in. That's when you can change. That's when you can see direction. That's when you can make more choices and grow, as I think God intended us to. So that's really the end of the response to that. You have to think better, bigger. You have to be prepared to push yourself forward and to see more and to do more. And that will help you with everything. Okay. It's really, so I know a lot, like Niall was saying, how a lot of people think it's silly. It's funny. You don't need it. It doesn't have to be as big as we're talking about with all different topics. It can be one main goal. It can be 2. Maybe you guys want to make it to the event in September this year. Maybe that's a goal for you. So you're working towards that. Whatever you want it to be. It can be anything you want it to be. It really can. And you just have to remember that we have a system, you guys. So we have a path for success. We have that. And it's all about you guys following those steps. Like I said, are you guys creating content every week? Are you posting ads every week? Are you driving traffic to get your Google AdSense? Are you doing all the steps that you need to do? Are you doing V-marketing? Are you reaching out to share with others? Are you reaching out to grow and build a team to make your financial freedom, your financial success? If you are following that and you're doing the things that you need to do, success is going to happen. It is at the end of that tunnel. And if your instructor isn't helping you, and that you don't feel like you have help the way, you go up to your MSI, you're second up. You always level up. Because sometimes you need more help, or you need a direction, or maybe you just need to talk to somebody else. And that's one of the reasons why going to the events is so important, because you can talk to other like-minded people about hey, I'm doing this and I don't think it's working right. What can I do? And they're there. They can share the energy with you. They can share ideas and experiences with you of ways to change things, or maybe it's just a little tweak. I remember hearing going to a self-help thing, a personal growth development thing, and it was like blah 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 blah. It was work sent me. I had to go. So I was like blah 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 blah. Yeah, I've heard this a million times, but it was just the one way that I heard someone say something. They twisted it, they tweaked it a little bit, and I was like, huh, that was worth it right there. That was worth the week that I would had to be away from my family. And so it's just about how you're listening to it, what you're doing, how you're interpreting it, and it's just a little tweak, a little different something, and it really does make a huge difference. So I want you guys to keep thinking that through. This is going to take way more than the 30 minutes that we've already just covered right now. So it's just, you have to take that time, you guys. And I'm going to, especially for all of you guys coming to the Dallas event, take some time, please. Work through your whys. Follow it all the way down to the heart of your why. Okay. And they always say that your why should be so important to you that it makes you cry if not achieving it. And it should be, I don't know if it needs to make you cry, but it needs to be very powerful to push you, because you guys will give up on yourselves. I'm telling you God's honest truth here, friends. You will go and work 9-10 hours a day for somebody else, and you'll show up and do the work. You may not be happy about it, but you'll show up and do the work, but you won't do it for yourself. So that's why you have a why, because that's what you're going to work for, right? That's the reason you're going to work, and you're going to push yourself forward. So that's I'm going to go on to another topic here so I can continue on. Is I want to talk to you guys about the importance of a mentor. Now, I've quoted this a lot because Rory talks about it, because to me, your why is important, because your mentors are going to help you with your why, right? You've heard Niall talk about it a lot. Rory's talked about it a lot. It's just how important that a mentor is in your life, because it gives you direction and focus. And it also helps elevate you, you guys. People have achieved different things than you. They have a different outlook, right? Experience is the mother of all learning. It truthfully is. So the experience that you have, the direction that's going to really benefit you. I remember young going and talking to my different grandparents, and their experiences, they learn things differently than the other. And so they would benefit, and they would give me different directions, if you would. I had, we all have 4 grandparents. I did as well. I was one of the oldest, so I'm very close with them. They were definitely mentors in my life. But I had, on my mother's side, her parents both, through the Depression. And one of them, her father, my grandmother, her father had a job all through the Depression. So it wasn't the same for her, where my grandfather, he didn't. His father left the home. His mother took in boarders and washed laundry and tried to do things to survive it. And so their experiences were totally different. That's the reason I'm saying this. Their experiences were completely different, and the way that they survived it was completely different. And so their outlook and their directions were different. And so by talking to different mentors and having that mentor group, you can get different directions, different focuses, and it will help guide you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we're going to go look at Rory's book here for just a second. Let's see. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. I'm just going to go ahead. We're going to talk about chapter 4. And this is, if they are not masters of the advice you are looking for, find the masters. Do not listen to anyone not doing what you want to do. Now, again, this goes back to me talking about, you want to do something and people don't believe you, or they don't think you, or they tell you, oh, it's not achievable. Just because they didn't achieve it doesn't mean it's not achievable. It means they weren't able to find the answers. So I'm going to read a little bit of this book here for you guys. It says, I'm glad to this day that I have always thought for myself. This is my husband, by the way. If you haven't read this book, get with your instructor. Here we go. I'm glad to this day that I have always thought for myself. I would question anything I did not understand, or what did not make logical sense to me. I was not always surrounded by the right individuals to get the answers I sought. And if I felt my questions were inadequately answered, or if I could tell my teacher or mentors at the time was without the knowledge, I would seek elsewhere. Books are amazing, and today is still the case, and the internet, along with logic and common sense, makes it an amazing resource. Seeking knowledge from a reliable source is easier today than ever, and while easy, not everyone does it. I have often been the redeemer of truth to many topics because I would seek out the answers to which I needed, from school teachings to religion and politics, all three of which can be useful if you want a challenge. We can search for answers in so many ways, from books to websites to individual videos, showing you step by step how to do anything, just about anything you can imagine. There is a wealth of knowledge, and it is growing constantly. It is in itself a virtual method of value and service to share knowledge with those that seek it, and for those yet to seek it. The very nature of communication to each other is incredible. So I'm going to stop here for just a minute. Stop share. The reason I'm sharing this with you guys is to share the point that you have to look for people who want to seek, right? That is the key. So I'm gonna refer this to a biblical saying. I'm very Christian, you guys. God leads my life completely, but there's a phrase there in the Bible. If you knock, it will be open. If you seek it, it will come. If you knock, the door will be open to you. Right? It's the same thing. Any advice you're looking for, to me, the answer can be found in the Bible. But if you are the seeker of knowledge, it will come to you. The answers will come to you. You just have to seek it. You have to have it in your mind. You have to go forward, and you have to start asking people, looking for answers. That's the great thing is about where we're living now, in the generation we're living now, there's a plethora of information. That's what Rory is saying there on the website, on the internet. You just have to make sure that you're using common logic and common sense. And some things that may not seem right when you read it, after it sets for a minute, it does. And that's happened to me many times. So I'll be conversing back and forth with something with Rory, and I'll be like, no, that's not it. And I start to research, and I'm like, oh, I was wrong, which rarely ever happens. So you guys can jot down that I actually said that today, because that will never happen again. But anyway, it's just fun to learn and grow, and just be open to what you're searching for. It will really help you. Anyway, back to this story that I'm butchering, because I'm a little passionate today, if you can't tell. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll down. I'm always amazed at the decisions people will make based on false masters of advice. While the internet has increased with the speed and the resources and shared knowledge, it has also increased the ability for fools and idiots who speak far more than they listen. There are suddenly experts on anything sprouting out nonsense, only to be instantly become new experts on something different tomorrow. They jump from topic as into trends. This is part of the human nature and has always baffled me, and yet has opened my eyes to the reality of the situation. In life, we always wanted to achieve and do well. We also have the facts that our environment is 90% of who we are and who we become. We have incredible information and knowledge at our fingertips. And even asking Alexa a question, instead of using resources, we often fall into our environment. You guys, this is so true. That's what I was talking about before. We get let down by our environment, and we just tend to just go for it. The poor always seem to be poor, and the rich always seem to be getting richer. If you want what others have, do what others do. Find a mentor that is doing what you want to do. Find a mentor that has what you want to have. Success leaves clues, right? If you are seeking advice about a happy relationship or marriage, seek it from someone who has a happy relationship or marriage. If you are looking for advice about starting a business, do not ask someone who has never started a business how to get started. Am I going to really make sure my point gets across here? It is something that I have seen stop so many from attempting to go after their goals, dreams, and even happiness. For decades now, I have been guided to create online businesses. I even built a comprehensive starting, training, and full-on support for online business world. You guys are all a part of that, so you know it's true. I am certain that I hear a student quitting and stopping any and all progress. And there are reasons for this But is their son, their daughter, their neighbor, their friend, or their auto mechanic who has told them that everything online is a scam. How many people have told you guys that? Right? And they instantly believe that, even though they have nothing to do, they have no knowledge, no understanding of this. They instantly believe that, and they stop working. Sadly, we do not go looking for when misinformation is given. We don't look for the answers. I highly recommend you guys continue to read the rest of this chapter if you haven't already. But it's really important. I think that kind of lays the foundation for the importance of finding a mentor. There's a lot more in that book that you guys, so you can read it. But truthfully, you guys, not only is it important to find somebody who has what you want, but it's also important to make sure that they're doing it now. They're currently still doing it. How many people have built businesses and then walked away? What are they doing now? Are they successful now? If they're not, why are we listening to their advice, right? If you want to be successful online, talk to somebody who's successful online. If you want to be successful in any kind of part of your life, talk to somebody who's done it. So, you know, the thing about that is here, everybody here that is an instructor on up to our MSIs, they've walked the path. They're finding their success here, and they're growing and changing. And that is who you want to watch and believe. Those who are already doing it, those who are working and have the same goals, the same direction as you. Niall, can you hop on here?
I'm here.
I want you to, don't you think that it's so important to follow people who are doing it right now?
Right now, because the times change, the market changes, the economy changes, everything changes every 6 to 12 months. And what worked 30 years ago would never do anything that right now, right?
Yeah.
But even what worked 5 years ago, how many changes have we made just to stay on top of it, stay in front of it, stay relevant with what's happening out there? It's critical.
Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing. So I'm going to pick on you, Niall, because I can.
You know, I expected it.
I don't know, how many of y'all have been on the Tuesday calls when he talks a little bit about his background story? When he talks about and he shares his experiences with, you know, how he started in this, you know, network marketing business, the marketing side of the business. And, you know, he busted his butt to find success, and he found the path. And what did he say? He says he went and talked to the people who were, he says it almost every week. I hear him say this. He went and talked to the people who were successful in that business, figured out what they were doing, and he followed it. So this is because his why was important to him. And I know his why, it was his children. He wanted to be and see his children. He didn't want to be the dad that didn't get to see his came home when they were going to bed. He wanted to be a more interactive part of their life. And he wanted to give them experiences and share with them. And, you know, he was able to do that with all of his children. They've been on trips, they've traveled, they've all participated in different, you know, extracurriculars. And that pushed him to be successful. And so he was amazing at that. And now he joined up with us, and what we are doing is completely different in a little way. It's a different way of, it's a different path to go down. So he had to learn something all new again, instead of doing what he was doing. You know, he had to learn a different system. He had to learn the online world. And then he started to find his success and then move the way up the path, right? And so now his children are grown. He's a grandpa, he's a grandparent like I am. So he had to go through that challenge of finding a new why. Right now?
I'm actually a great grandpa now, remember?
Yes,
It's
you are.
it was hard to admit at first, but it's kind of cool actually at the same time.
It's very cool.
But you know, I got videos this morning of my son bowling and teaching his boys how to bowl, because that's into his DNA, dad being the bowling coach for the high school, because I had that time freedom and ability to do so. That's into him teaching his boys to be a part of the structure of sports. He doesn't want to play football yet. He's got to wait another 2 years before he go out there and get his body beat up. But he's keeping him involved in structured sports, right? They want to getting on a league and being a team member and having fun at the same time, which is key. So that freedom, even when I didn't think my kids were watching, paying attention. What is that called? Patterns, the things that are in your subconscious you don't know exists until you react to something. And then you realize, oh, I remember my dad doing it that way. Those patterns are there with our kids all the time. But yeah, if I mean, I remember looking at PBS 17 years ago and going, yeah, I don't see me doing that, Rory. Honestly, I'm not a writer. I can't do that. Oh my goodness. And then it just kept evolving and getting better. And it's like Rory would always reach out to me every 6 months or 12 months ago. Did you see the new additions to PBS? Did you see the new things we're doing? Did you see what I just added? Did you see he did that yesterday? Did you see what I just added? He's got this way. I don't know how in the heck he can like update and keep in touch with that many people the way he does, other than his love of mass communication and learning all the tools how to get that stuff out there all the time. And finally, I looked at PBS probably for the 12th time and went, "Wow! If I'd only been thinking clearly and I got involved 17 years ago or 10 years ago, right? Wow! I should have been doing this all along." And now I'm having a blast because I think it's perfect, but I love teaching other people. I love seeing other people's success, Tanya. Because it's like how you and I felt 35 years ago when we got in that first deal, and it was so exciting. And every time each person achieves different level successes, we get to celebrate that all over again.
Yeah.
That's one of my whys now. My kids are growing, my grandbabies are there, but now helping watching other people get to do what we got to do for 3 decades is just fun, exciting. I get to sleep pretty good at night because of that.
And he's making me emotional because it's so true. It's like you just want to help that person find that freedom to make their choices. And that's really what this is, because it's really about helping that person as they achieve success. They're finding more freedom in their life, a little more of this, a little more of that. And I get really emotional thinking about it because that's what this all started from. That's why Rory did this. He wanted to help those who didn't know how to help themselves. He wanted to share and help them to find freedom and financial freedom, and helps with the freedom that helps them make the personal growth. Because when you don't have to work so hard every day, once you get to that point, you can really invest and look inward and work more on that, being a better person, and working on in your personal development as well.
And Jim Rohn told us what about personal development. You can work hard at your job, like she's talking to work hard. Everyone can work hard for the boss, but they won't work hard for themselves. Personal development makes you worthy of the goal you're trying to hit. Working hard at a job pays the bills, helps you live. Working on yourself and helping others creates a lifestyle.
Right. Exactly. So you guys, that's why, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is why we have our MSIs that are amazing to us, because they are mentors. They've learned and grown. They've worked the system. They are masters. That's what they're called, a master systems instructor. They are masters at what we're doing right now. They know the path, they walk it, and they understand the direction, and they can help give you guys advice, or maybe just saying something just a little different that helps tweak your thought process, that helps change things around just enough for you to see the value of what we have, and to help you to continue on those hard days. And remember, guys, on those hard days, you never complain down. You only go up to your mentors to ask for help, to ask for like guidance. What should you have done better? What were you meant to learn from that? And to have them help you change your focus. But you guys, it's okay for things to change and grow as you change and grow. And that's why I'm talking about, so many of you here need to reevaluate your why. So many of you here. And I say that with all love, because it took me a while to figure out that I needed to change mine, and I needed to see what I was doing this for and why I was continuing on. And did I really believe this? And the answer was yes. I absolutely do believe what we're doing. I absolutely, and again, Niall just reiterated it was like, you guys, we didn't talk about this beforehand, but it was like he was reading my mind. I want to see your success. I want to see you happy. I get excited when I look at the leaderboards and I see your guys' names up there. I cheer you on. Like, I get super excited when I do I do 50 million reports every week. But when I do this one particular report, when I get ready to read numbers and see who's done what, who's sold what, who's continue on, I get super excited to see that growth and that progress. And you guys, I know you guys understand, because as you start to build your own team, you become an instructor and you start to build your team of instructors. I know you guys understand when they achieve success, you get so excited. And that's just how we feel. And it gives us a lot of a joy and energy. So for me, that was a goal that was a why that I didn't know I had, was to help others. That's with money and time freedom comes the ability for me to now turn back, and I'm helping others now. I'm helping others to achieve. That's why we're going to give back to you guys. That's why we put so much money into the marketing of your businesses, is because we want you to have that. We want to give back and have you guys have that freedom, that ability to really put your own hands on your life and do the things that you really want to do, that you find passion with. It's so important. I'm going to pick on somebody else now. And we're gonna talk a little bit. She's behind the scenes a lot, but you guys see her separate. I think you do, but she just won a wine label. She just won a wine label, guys. And wow. So Linda, if you can unmute for just a second, I'm gonna pick on you.
Okay.
Because she's also a grandparent. I've seen her beautiful granddaughters.
They're
And I know
behind me on this blanket.
there they are. Yeah. So I know, Linda, because I've seen you've been here for a while, and I've seen you rebuild and start over and rebuild. And you never gave up, though.
No.
You know, you never gave up. It wasn't just an easy walk for you, but you just kept on going. And I just want you to explain what made you stay, what made you keep going.
Passion. Rory's passion bleeds. Belief in the system in both of you. That's huge to me, because there's so many false things out there.
Yeah.
We've all fallen prey, all of us. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. And it's frustrating at this point, because there's so much stuff out there to let somebody really know that this is real. This is real. This is where it's at. But to keep me going and believing is why I'm still here. That's my major reason. Things are changing. Niall's right. Everything is changing constantly, but everything that you and Rory are doing is keeping up with all of that. How in the heck it goes on, I don't know. I always say that Rory is superhuman, but
I think so sometimes too.
yeah, but and also getting to actually meet you guys and spend time with you. You're real people. You're not those millionaires that are snobby, or don't want to put yourselves out there. You want to meet us. You want to have those times with us to shake hands, give hugs, get to know us. And that to me is a genuine person, and you two are genuine. So that means a lot to me, because I have that heart. And I don't want to get all emotional myself, but yeah, the heart is there. And if you have the heart and you have the Christian values and you have everything that everyone should have, then what's not to believe?
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Thank you, Linda. But you guys, she has also she stayed. You guys, I've been so impressed with watching her and honestly cheering her on. And my gosh, you guys, when I knew it was her that was winning that label, I literally broke down and cried. I was so excited, because I've seen this girl, and I don't mean that with any disrespect. She's obviously a grown woman, very mature, and she's an amazing woman. But I've seen her just work. And not only that, you guys, she put so many people ahead of herself, because she runs a lot of our systems behind the scenes. And so she put a lot of people before herself. And finally, I think finally we just got to her and said, Linda, you got to put you first, babe, because you can't keep helping everybody if you can't help yourself. And she put her money where her mouth is, and she just went full force. And she just really worked on her team. She worked on creating and growing and helping them to create and grow. And you guys, a wine label winner isn't just them, it is their team. And she knew that, and she pushed it on. I mean, she has her leaders and her instructors that help.
Somebody muted you, Tanya.
Yeah, all good. She has her leaders and her instructors that help push her to success, and she knew that. And she continued. So she was She was growing for herself and building and placing underneath them to grow and help push them as well. You guys, that's what we do. That's one of the reasons why I like the binary so much, because you're also helping and pushing your team towards success. So, I mean, so do you guys, the fact that, you know, you have to start over sometimes, it's okay. And just keep going. Okay. So you learned a lesson there. Keep going, keep pushing forward, because you're going to find it. We've had a few of our top instructors here who have left and come back because they realize, okay, this is the real deal. I've looked elsewhere. This is the real deal. And now they're pushing and working towards success because they know this is where it is really. It's what we need to, there's nothing like it out there. Nobody else is going to do what we have done. No one else is going to have the system that we have. No one else is going to have the marketing for you. And really, marketing is what makes a difference. I don't know if you guys ever heard us say this before, but anybody who is successful in business has put thousands of dollars, maybe more, probably more, into marketing. So you guys, that's why it's so important. And that's the key that nobody has for success, and we're giving it to you. A lot of people have the drive. They just don't have the marketing or the reach, which is marketing. We have that for you. That's why it's so important. So at the end, we're coming to the end of this hour. So I want you guys to realize, I want you guys to take some time, you guys, this weekend, please. I'm going to challenge you guys to do so. I meant to check on some vision boards. We'll do that on another Saturday. So we can look at some vision boards and kind of share some ideas with people, because I'm hoping it will spur you on. It will encourage you guys to want to have more. But I want you guys to really take some time, guys. Dive deep. Follow down that why trail. Act like a child again and ask why. And really take some time. When you get the end of that thing, you find out your why. And you guys, then you can start to break away all the other reasons and start to find the belief with the why. Okay. And even if it's just borrowing passion until you find it, until you start to find a little bit of success, a little bit of foothold, borrow some. Rory's got plenty. I'll share with y'all. He's got plenty to help y'all. He's got that, and he brings it every week. So I'm trying to bring it, but I'm not him. I have a different vibe, but I'm trying to bring mine, because I have a lot of passion here as well, and a lot of love for what we're doing. And so anyway, you guys, so please take some time. Please make sure that you break that down. The mastermind that we're doing in Dallas, Roy says Dallas, but it's McKinney, Texas. We're going to be talking more about our why, and we're going to be breaking down more of that. So take some time, especially at the beginning of the year. Also, you guys, we set goals. I hope you all did anyway. When I did the goal training, it was on the 30th, I believe, of December. So we did that. Now we're at the beginning of the year. We're at the middle of the month now. It's the 13th, so it's close enough, right? So we're at the middle of the month now. Where are you at your goals, right? I think what I'm going to do is come on here once a quarter, and we'll do a reevaluation training and kind of work through that. So I think that's important. But you guys, like I said, I believe that goals are a living, breathing thing just because you are, and they are attached to you. So it's time to reassess. Is everything going the way that you had thought? Is it not? And I'm going to tell you honestly, not for me. No, I had some very serious goals, and I got really freaking sick at the beginning of this year, and it threw me off track. But I see so many people who get thrown off track and they just stop. Don't stop, guys. Reevaluate, restart, refocus, reset, and recommit to yourself, to your dreams. You know, you are meant to have joy. You are meant to have happiness in your life. And this, I promise you, is a path to get there. So I'm going to say, God bless. We're going to end this training. I'm going to end this live, and then we